All right, good afternoon. Everybody doing okay today?
Great.
All right, good.
You.
I'm doing well. Okay, so injury update for this game where we are right now. Tevin Jenkins has been cleared for the protocol, through the protocol. Cole Kmet, is worked out there today in a limited fashion. He'll be questionable for the game. Everything looks pretty good there, so it's positive. Lucas Patrick also got some good work in there, limited, questionable, but also looks very good for that. And then Darnell Mooney is still working through the concussion protocol, and he'll be out, as we stated before. Congratulations to Steve McMichael and Devin Hester, for their being finalists into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations to those guys, and well deserved, of course. And wish those guys the best of luck in that. Bears fans, obviously a big game, last home game, been great all year. And just a shout out to them, and we need to be loud and supportive of this game. It's going to be a big contest, a big challenge for us. And then today after practice, champion of the game is Mesa, and she's currently undergoing treatment for bone cancer while she's pursuing a degree from Loyola in criminology. And she was wonderful today. Got a chance to break us down, and what a wonderful, sweet young lady. And then we had another guest out there today from the Innocence Project, which is Brian Beals, who was recently exonerated after serving 35 years for wrongfully conviction of murder. And he's out now, and certainly was happy to see the players, and certainly we were glad to see him, and excited for him. And then congratulations to Eddie Jackson. I know HT said something about it yesterday, but congratulations to him for the Dickerson Award, the Good Guy Award. And I've heard great things about Jeff, and it was cool to hear Pat talk about the whole thing yesterday, and about how many guys could have been nominated, that were nominated, could have gotten the award. So that's really says a lot about the character of our football team. Also says a lot about the men in the locker room. So that was pretty cool to hear. Okay, with that, I'll open up to questions.
Eddie not only won the Good Guy Award last year, he's the Eddie Black Courage Award winner, your Ball Hawk Award winner. As you set up your culture, your foundation, your program, what has Eddie meant, like kind of as a foundational player, as a veteran?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a veteran that works really hard, that's a good dude. That's in the locker room. That's always a positive. And then you couple it with being a good player. Then it just has that much more weight. And he's been that, and he's done a wonderful job for us. And we're certainly glad to have Eddie. And congratulations to him on that award for sure.
You told us the other day about the 200 thing with Justin.
Yeah.
Did you print something out and hand it to him? Did you sit and just explain it to him? How was the message?
Yeah, so we have a meeting, once a week. Him and I'll sit and visit. At the end of the week, certainly we talk, in quarterback, breakfast club and all those types of things. But at the end, I want to have just one last meeting with him and talk to him, and that was when he was coming back from injury. So that was several weeks ago, and just really want coaches. The good coaches I've been around have the ability to image in people's minds, okay, what they want and what they want to do, going into the future, or leading into the performance, So we always do that with the players. So the image, the word picture, that is, so to speak, is just 200, and that's just really simple. It's just hey, score 2 TDs, zero takeaways, turnovers, and 0 sacks. And he's improved on those numbers. I talked about him. He cut those in half. He's only had 1 interception. That was last game, and since he's been back, you don't count the ones that were thrown into the end zone for the Hail Marys. And the sack number has been way down. He's done a good job of getting rid of the ball and really looking down the field and delivering the ball down the field for some big strikes. And so he's done well that way.
Technical question. 2 TDs, is that in the air, or do you care which way he does it?
Doesn't matter. We'll take him any way we can get him.
Matt, yesterday Andrew Janocko was saying how special your relationship with Justin is. I'm curious, as a first-time head coach and he's your first quarterback, how has that relationship grown and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it was intentional for sure that first year to stay with the offensive bunch, and work with them, and be in the quarterback room much more than I have been this year. And, it's really important, for the quarterback, of the franchise, a quarterback of any franchise to be close to the head coach, because those are the 2 guys that really, let's face it, get a lot of criticism, right? And, and that's all part of the biz, right? and you have to, stay steady, be confident, be clutch when it matters, right? And be consistent. And that's really from that's Cairo's motto. I just use it as it's a heck of a one, and I think it's important that the quarterback and the head coach have that.
Do you have a moment, this is big picture, but like of your relationship with Justin that you're most proud of? Either of the growth that the two of you have made together, or a moment you're most proud of him from the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say one moment. I don't know if I could pick that out. I wish I could, but he's just being consistent, just being where his feet are, being positive, and then just getting back to work. And he's done that through and through.
We've seen, obviously the defensive stats the second half of this season, some of the offensive stats, but if you had to describe why you feel there's upward momentum, what outside of the numbers do you first think of, or would you lay out?
Yeah, I mean, it's just guys buying into it. You can see, when they buy into it by the way they practice, by the way they hustle, by the way they do the little details. For example, every time there's a ball on the ground, we scoop it up and go 10 yards, and we form a wall return. So we're working on our scoop and score, in our takeaway and scoring on it. So you can see those things; those are tangible, and you got to put that in front of the guys. But certainly the effort and the attention to detail you see during practice.
Man, what are some of the things that have led to this run defense being as stout as it's been over the past, pretty much all season?
Yeah, I mean, if look at the history. We've had some good run defenses, right? So it starts with the coaches, paying attention to detail, with the technique and fundamentals, and being great teachers. That's the number one thing. So the reason we hire these guys is that they're great teachers of the details, and they can implement those into the drills, and into practice, and then make the corrections. Never walk by a mistake. And then it's obviously ultimately it's the players. The players buying into it. Them focusing on the details, them focusing on technique, and them being physical in the run game. It takes everybody. To be good in run defense, it takes everybody. So it takes the front four, of course, recreating a new line of scrimmage. Then it takes the linebackers taking off double teams, and then an edge. The edge of it is the safeties, the force players, the corners and secondary force, and then keeping the big cup over top of it so you don't give up explosives. And that's the safeties, and the rest of the secondary. So it's all 11 of us. We have no house guests on defense. Everybody tackles, everybody hits, and everybody plays the right way.
With Komet, you said it's looking good. I don't believe he's ever missed a game in his career.
Right.
How do you balance this toughness that this guy has with making sure you're doing what's
Yeah, I mean, you leave it up to the trainers, the medical staff, and then ultimately the player. It's his body. He knows how he feels, and we'll work with him over the next 48 hours to see where his role is.
You've talked about being intentional and building that relationship with Justin as a defensive head coach. And I know your stops along the way, you've worked for offensive head coaches. How different is that for a defensive head coach to be in with the quarterback versus somebody who might be, also their play caller as their head coach?
Yeah, I think it's kind of refreshing for a quarterback, to be able to see the other perspective of it. And we talk coverages all the time. We talk, what the defense is trying to do to the offense or to that particular player. And I think it's another way to look at it. And I think the education is a dual education. So now he looks at it through the lens of an offensive, this is how we see it. This is what we're trying to get done with this particular route or this particular run play. But then he can flip it and see exactly what the defense is trying to do and know the rules. That's the thing that I think is most important when you get the rules for the defensive coverages and you understand how to defeat those rules. I think that helps out not only the offensive staff but the quarterback too.
Despite some of the growing pains that Justin has gone through, he still seems to have pretty good hold in the locker room. How, from a coach's perspective, how significant is that? Maybe how telling is that on what he is as a player?
Yeah, just the kind of man he is, right? The work ethic he has, the character that he has. He's he's an honest guy, right? And guys, really, draw to him, right? And just like a lot of our other guys, a lot of our guys are like that. We have high character in our locker room, and we have high character throughout the whole building, and you can certainly see that and feel that.
Matt, as you look back on these first 2 years with Justin, what have you taken away from that relationship, and what do you hope that he's taken away?
Yeah, just about being yourself. I think that's in growing. and getting better. And that's what I try to be about, and I think that's what Justin, tries to be about. And then if we just keep getting better, have our eyes focused on one day at a time and one moment at a time, we're gonna get better and just be consistent.
How'd you come up with so many nicknames for all the players? There's a video going around of you of pregame, and
Yeah.
you've got a nickname for counted 17. Are those on the fly, or do
That's
you?
right. I got nicknames for you guys too.
By all means.
I've always done that. I've done it throughout my whole career.